among the things which break the fast is purposeful or willing vomiting. If someone throws up, vomits purposely, then of course the fast is batil. But if it comes out involuntarily, that means uncontrollably, and no purpose is there, and one just throws up, that does not invalidate the fast. However, if one is medically advised that one must throw up for his own health, then he is allowed to throw up and vomit, but his fast anyway will be batil, because that will be purposeful. And there will be qada, but no kafar. The third thing which makes batil fast is to attribute lies to the Prophet and ma'sumin salamullahi alayhim ajma'in. Now in this, of course, Janab Fatima Zahra is included. That means to attribute lies, things which are not true. Like to say, for example, even to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if somebody translates an ayah of Quran wrongly, incorrectly, and tries to tell the people that this is the correct translation while he is fasting, his fast is batil. If he brings out a hadith which he himself knows that is not true and is wrongly attributed to the Prophet, and he says this is what the Prophet said, then his fast is also batil. Similarly, all Aimma and Imam Fatima Zahra, anything that one attributes. Now, not only by utterance, even if somebody writes something which he knows is a lie, his fast is batil. And even if one nods, that means you asked me a question, Mullah, did the Prophet say this? I know that he did not. And I said, yes. Just nodded, did not say yes, did not write. Even nodding for the untruth attributed to the Prophet or Aimma alayhim salam, roza is batil. This is why. But if somebody reads from the book or attribute something that has been written by someone and says that so and so has written this, and then it turns out to be untrue, of course his roza is not batil, because he made a reference and he spoke based on the reference, kitab. But there is one more aspect to it. Suppose I said something which was true, I knew it as correct, attributed rightly to the Prophet or Aimma alayhim salam. Tomorrow morning when I'm fasting, you ask me, Mullah Sahab, what you said last night, is it true? And I say, that means, although it was true, I'm saying, no. Belying that which is true also makes fast batil. And if I said something which is untrue, and in the morning while I was fasting, you asked me, what you said last night, is it true? And I said, yes, I know that it is untrue. Even that makes my fast batil. That means one has got to be very careful. Attributing lies. Now this does not mean that attributing lies is a sin only when you are fasting. It's a sin always, but it has an effect on the fast. The subject that we have chosen is continuous and it will take quite a long time, but we have to finish within our time. One, as I said last night, the purpose of fasting is obedience, ita'a. Now, if I do not obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, imagine our lives without obedience. I have pondered over this. I have thought very deeply over this. I have friends who are atheists, that means who don't believe in God. I had some teachers and tutors who were atheists. We do speak sometimes and meet and we have discussion. But I still to find a man who does not obey. If he does not obey God, he obeys his wife. He obeys his son. obeys his friend, obeys the authority. I have still to find someone who does not at all obey. I mean, you ponder together with me over this. You will not find anyone, regardless of his school of thought to which he belongs, to the philosophy and persuasion he has, you won't find a man who does not obey. There is some discipline with which he is tied. Allama Rashid Turabi used to say this in Urdu. He used to say, जो एक का सजदा नहीं करता वो हर एक का सजदा करता है. He used to say this. One who does not bow down before one bows down before many. And this was his translation of what Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam had said. That the true freedom, the word freedom has been not understood by people. People believe that we are as free as animals. We are not as free as animals. You have come to this society, you find men and women sitting all over in the Imambara, not animals. Why? If there were donkeys or horses sitting here, you would have seen a different scene. But you see men here, all of them disciplined and believing in particular mode of behavior. So the freedom that we may have, freedom we have, for example, anyone can sit anywhere. Anywhere. I mean, there's no reservation, right? Anyone can sit anywhere. Anyone can be modestly dressed and come in any color he likes, with or without cap. Anyone with a cap of any color. That freedom is there. Meet, sit with anyone you like. No one is going to ask. But at the same time, there is what we call a sensible and responsible freedom. And that is what Amirul Mu'mineen said, that man, if he regards that his discipline or the type of laws that he would acquiesce in and believe in would be that which was laid down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that man is muttaqi. And a muttaqi is a free person, means enslaved by none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's very important that we understand this. So, there is an aspect of life on which I would like to just throw some light. For our young people to understand, elderly people know about it, they must have heard about it quite often. But I want to say this, that there is a spiritual aspect of life also. Whatever we do, it is not all physical. There is something like what we call spiritual. When that is advanced, you become a different man. In the life of Sheikh Saduq alayhi rahmah, I read in the life of his father, that is Saduq the first, Ibn Babawayh. He had two sons, rather three, but we talk of two because they were ulama. One is Sheikh Saduq and one was his brother Hussein, who was also an alim of great repute. He was in Baghdad in 329 Hijrah. 329 Hijrah. He was in Baghdad for ziyarat of Aimma alayhi salam. He met the last naib of Imam Zaman alayhi salam, the last naib, the fourth one, who was in Baghdad also. He went and paid his respect, and the fourth naib told him, asked him, how is your father? He said, I left him safe and healthy. He kept quiet. Now, he came again to see him. The habit of visiting ulama is a good habit. So he came again and again. On the third day, the naib of Imam asked him, my son, tell me, how is your father? He is in Qum. This man is in Baghdad. And the son said, I told you, uncle, that my father, I left him quite safe and healthy. He said, may Allah give you sabr. He just now died. He just now died in Qum. And remember, after 6 days, I am going to die as well. The man was terrified. Those were not the days of telephone or faxes or anything. He had to wait for 18 days before he came to know that on the same day, at the same time, as intimated, father had died. How come it happens? It happens when a man has transcended from this material aspect into some spiritual aspect, where distances are no distances, my friend, where the wall is no impediment, where time is no hindrance, where you are in a different world. But for that, the first thing is, when Hazrat Nuh was on his ark, among the people whom he saved was Shaitan. Shaitan came and said, will you give me? Hazrat Nuh said, I would not have given you, but Allah has promised you life. That is why I am giving you a room on my ark. Otherwise, there is no room for you. He said, no, I'll go and sit in the corner. I'll make no mischief. He said, yes, I was about to tell you, in that remote corner you will sit, meet no one. When the deluge, the flood was over, Shaitan departed. He said, Ya Nabi Allah, Ya Nuh, you are a Nabi, I should not tell you anything, but I would like to give you something in return for the good turn that you have done to me. Those people who don't do even good turn after ihsan are worse than Shaitan. Eh? How many times I listen to people telling me, Mulla Sahib, हमें तो उल्टा लोन आप ही ने मुसीबत फंसाई है. You give a loan to me and I become your enemy. Because you are asking it back. So this is dunya. Anyway, so Shaitan said, no, I have got 3 things to give you. But you know about it, but I am just giving you as a gift. Advice. 1, when your tummy is full, never expect to be worshipful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There can be no ibadah with tummy full. Always eat less if you want to attend to ibadah. Remember this. This is for us in iftar also. There is a dua which we say, Ya Allah, what has happened to me that whenever in Ramadan I stand up for Allahu Akbar Namaz-e-Shab, something tells me sleep, sleep. Whenever I want to read Quran, something tells me sleep, sleep. This is because of so much of eating that even during the daytime when we belch, it is sambusa and kebab. This is the problem. It has got to be in control. 1. So, no, if anyone tells you that he can fill his tummy and also pray, don't believe in him. I'm giving you a secret. Because I go through the stomach of the people. I tell them eat and eat and eat so that they would not attend to worships. 2, if you are alone with a na-mahram lady, na-mahram, alone, then never believe that you are 2. I am the 3rd one there, your partner. He munji behna hai. All these things are just to दिल को खुश रखने को गालिब ये ख्याल अच्छा है. But actually it's nothing but mischief. What I was trying to tell you, I'll complete later, don't worry, I haven't forgotten, is that there is a spiritual aspect to our existence. One of the things is roza. Roza. Do you know, my friends, my brothers and sisters, during the roza fast, all over the month, there will come a time when you will definitely, out of that pang of hunger, something within you will tell you that this existence has another meaning. This existence has another meaning. What is after all this life for? But that voice does not speak unless you deprive yourself of food for some time. Food. In Rosa, this thinking on spiritual aspect is again brought to light, and suddenly man feels that there is something else. I haven't come on earth for nothing. Not only for earning, not only for getting married, producing children, having a family, friends, and that's all, and evaporate one day. I have come for some purpose. That purpose and that search for the purpose comes after Roza. And that is the meaning of Roza. Imam alayhi salam said, Roza is just like what we may call a sandpaper, which actually polishes the surface. That is the meaning of Roza. Much more than that, inshallah ta'ala, I pray that we are not in that indulgence. Much more than that in eating najis and eating haram. Allah in Quran says, whoever eats away the property of yatim, if you are a trustee of an orphan, or a trustee of a bewa, that is a widow, and you are a trustee, therefore the mal, the wealth that you have in your custody is an amanat. Huh? You cannot eat anything from it. And if you ate, Allah in Quran says, they eat fire. Now, do they eat fire actually? Is it? They eat food. But that food has an effect of fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said this. Those who eat away without justification the goods, the wealth of the yatim and bewa without their permission, or they just try to confiscate and usurp, they are eating actually fire. Because every food, my friends, that I eat has got two effects. My doctors will tell me that it will create this sort of blood and that sort of blood. Huh? It is protein, I don't know, whatever it is, carbohydrate, that is one thing. But Shariat will tell you as to what sort of spiritual effect this has on your mind. Now, when I said last night about this hamburger, you know there are shops in London here which sell halal meat and the owner is a Hindu. Patel Bhai. You ask him what is the meaning of halal meat. He will say, it is not pork. But that's all. That means he thinks that only mutton or lamb or beef is halal. That's all. In whatever way it is slaughtered. It's not like that, my friend. One has got to be sure what one eats. Hamburger itself is haram in both ways. One, because it is ham, if it is ham. And secondly, because it is something which has not been slaughtered. Even if it is beef. It has got to be dhabiha, my friends, dhabiha. And those young men and women who go into the stores and look into the ingredients are not fools. Everyone who goes and sees the ingredient and buys after having satisfied himself that there is no animal fat in this and there is nothing which is haram, that man is actually doing ibadah. For every step that he takes, buys and comes back, there is thawab. It's something which is jihad in a country like this. So now the question arises, Mullah Sahib, in East Africa or in India and Pakistan, we have servants at home, Salimu, Bakari, Hamisi. Some of them even don't know the rules of hygiene. They wash the glass like this and they bring before us and you say it is pak. And here we go to 5-star hotel where the chef or the waiter who waits upon us is in immaculate, spotless dress. He brings the glass which has been sterilized and everything, and you say it is najis. Now look at this. But people have totally misunderstood the concept of taharat and najas. Remember, my friends, taharat is not a synonym of cleanliness. Taharat is not an antonym of dirt. Taharat is not a synonym. It is not the same word as cleanliness. These two things are different. Nor is it an opposite term of dirt. Taharat is a total different concept. Najasat is a total different concept. Najasat is something else. Dirt is something else. If this is understood, the meaning is that even if my son does not wash the glass properly, although he is a Muslim, therefore he is pak, but if the glass is dirty, I am not supposed to drink from it. Not because it is haram, but because it is dirty. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting one day for his supper, And it was his habit that anyone who came, passed by, the Prophet would not allow him to go without joining. So somebody passed and the Prophet said, Salaamun Alaikum, Alaikum Salam, Bismillah. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm not hungry. He said, you sit down, please. We'll have together. Whatever, Mata Yassar, whatever is there. So he sat down, the Prophet gave him one spoon. And he started with this. He had a dirty cloth on. The Prophet saw that this is how he wiped that spoon. The Prophet said, go and wash it and clean it. Naam ya Rasulullah. He went and washed. Washed it with cloth, and as he was coming back with the same cloth, he started. And he sat down. The Prophet said, go and wash it. Clean it properly. Naam ya Rasul. He went again and he washed it, and then when he was coming back again with the same. And the Prophet said, go again. He said, Ya Rasulullah, how many times? He said, as many times as you wipe it with this dirty cloth. I mean, an-nadafatu min al-iman. The Prophet said, cleanliness is a part of iman and faith. So that is something else. What is Sharia telling us is that things that we eat or drink or wear must be both clean as well as pak. Must not be both dirty as well as najis. Understand? Don't. This is called in Arabic, when we are taught by our teachers, this is called khalat mabhath. Khalat mabhath means confusing, putting two issues such a manner that a man out listening to you is totally confused by this crooked thinking. These two things are apart, right? Well, when the Prophet was asked as to why pork is haram, pork, he could have said that there are some germs or there is some disease or whatever. He could have said that there are some diseases and all that. Today, people would have answered him, saying that now in the latest abattoir, we treat pork in such a manner that not a single germ is left alive, and now it should be edible. But the Prophet knew this, that this is not the reason why it is haram. And the answer he gave indicates that the hurma has got some spiritual effect on our life. He said, remember my friend, whichever individual and a community or a nation makes a habit of eating pork, from them haya, sharm, shame will be always removed. You will find their women acting like haywan, like animals. You'll find their men acting like that. Shame, that bashfulness, that ghira will go away. And today you can see it. The Prophet's words stand outstanding. Take any sample from any community, even those who call themselves Muslim. Once they start eating pork, see what is the position of their community. So the effect is not whether you, sometimes you find people with very rosy cheek and you ask him, he says, because I take alcohol. So it is not the rosy cheek that we are looking at. We are looking at the seerah. It is for this reason I say that there is an existence which is called the existence of spirit and ruhaniyah. And everything that we do, we act, we eat, we wear, has dual effect. One on our physical existence, as it were. The other is on our ruhaniyah. Rosa's first step is that it has got to give that feeling of spiritualism coming out. If it does not come out, then what Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullah wa salamu alayhi in Nahjul Balagha says, O mu'mineen, do not be among those who do not benefit from Rosa anything but hunger and thirst. Don't be from among those. Don't be among those who have no benefit of Rosa except hunger and thirst. Be among those who, when they fast, they climb the ladder of spiritualism one after the other. When 30 days will be over, inshallah ta'ala, if we listen to these things as I say, if our young boys and girls listen to this and ponder over this,